Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Killock, and this is my Hunter Van Rick. I will show you the basic of a survival ability spec in patch 4.0.6. As you can see, my hunter is survival, and I'll basically go through the individual talents that there is in the spec. First off, I'm getting pathing, which increases the range haste by 3%. The improved Serpent Sting, which increases the periodic damage of Serpent Sting by 30%. Then I go down to tier 2 and spec into Trap Mastery, which basically increases the duration of Freezing Trap and Ice Trap. That's a very nice thing to have when you're doing heroics and you need to trap a target. Like for instance the beauty fight, where you have to trap her puppies. You don't have to retrap the target again that often, and it's really nice. Then I got 2 talents into point of no escape. Basically, the last 2 points you can basically place it wherever you like it, because it's just fillers. They're not doing anything particular, so you can just go with whatever you like up here. The next point, Thrill of the Hunt, 50% chance to, when you use Arcane Shot, Explosive Shot and Black Arrow, to instantly regain 40% of the base focus cost of the shot. That's a very nice thing to have, so you can basically nuke away. Lock and Load, that's a very important ability, because you need to get the talent down under. And as you can see, it gives you the Lock and Load ability, which makes your next 2 Arcane Shot or Explosive Shot cost no focus and trigger no cooldown. Resourcefulness reduces the cooldown of all traps and Black Arrow by 6 seconds. That being said, the Black Arrow needs to be up as much as possible, because it triggers the next talent called TNT. When you deal periodic damage with Immolation Trap, Explosive Trap, Black Arrow, you have a 12% chance to trigger Lock and Load. So that's a very important ability to have. Toxicology increases the periodic critical damage of your Serpent Sting and Black Arrow by 100%. That's a very nice ability to have. Wyvern Sting, another CC for 30 seconds. That's really nice to have. Noxious Stings increases your damage by Serpent Sting by 10%. That's also a very nice ability to have. Hunting Party increases your total agility by 2% and increases all the ranged and melee attack speed by 10%. Every melee and ranged are going to love you for that. Sniper Training. When you stand still, using Steady Shot and Cobra Shot, you basically gain a 6% damage buff for 15 seconds. That's a very nice ability to have. Basically also, if you need to move, it doesn't get removed right away, so let's say if I need to dodge some flames or something like that, I can easily run to the left and stand still again for a few seconds, and the buff will stack again, as you can see up here, stacked again. Serpent Spread, I only put 1 point into that, basically because it's a nice ability to have. It increases your AoE damage by quite a lot. But if you put 2 points into it, you basically only get another 3 seconds to the applied Serpent Sting that you do when you do multi-shot. That's not really important, because when you AoE, you basically try to get focus really fast, and yeah, you simply won't need another point in that, I can assure you that. And of course the last talent, Black Arrow, very important. It's basically puts up a dot. Then I've gone over to Beastmaster, get one with nature, so I get some increased attack power bonus from Aspect of the Hawk by 30%. And when I need to do a fight with a lot of mobility, I get 3 more focus when I use abilities when I'm in Aspect of the Fox. So that's a very nice ability to have as well. Then I've gone over to Marksmanship. Go for the throat. Basically, yeah. It's a filler, to be honest. Of course, every time I crit, my pet gets 10 focus, and of course the pet do damage as well, so it's always nice to have. It's a little bit damage. Efficiency, reduce the focus cost of arcane shot by 3 and explosive and chimera shot by 6. That's also very nice to have. Less focus cost on abilities that you use a lot, so you can use it more often. And here there's a lot of discussion going on about survival hunters, because most people put 2 points in Secam, so their pet do more damage, and then they just basically spam Cobra Shot when they need to gain focus. I've done something little else here. I took 2 points into Steady Shot, improved Steady Shot. When I fire 2 steady shots in a row, the ranged attack speed will be increased by 10%, but for 8 seconds. And that basically means that both my my steady shot and copper shot will get a cast speed under 1.5 second, which is very good to have. If you get tier 11 and you get the foresight bonus, you might actually need to remove this and put it over to second, because you don't need that much more haste. So just take second when you get the good tier sets. For glyphs, 3 prime grips, glyphs of Serpent Sting, critical strike chance on periodic damage on Serpent Sting. Glyph Steady Shot, 10% more damage to Steady Shot. There are some people getting Explosive Shot instead, but since it's part of my rotation, I rather want 10% more damage on Steady Shot than anything else. And then lastly, Arcane Shot, because it's also going into my rotation. The rest glyphs is just free of choice. I'll recommend getting Glyph of Mending and Glyph of Misdirection, so you can tank a little bit with your pet when you feel like doing some quest or soloing some bosses or something like that. So basically that's all there is to it. Now I will explain a little bit about what enchants to get and what stats to get. Basically, a hunter gets a lot of attack power by stacking agility, and basically it's 1 agility is 1 attack power, and you also get some critical strike chance with agility. You can check WoW Wiki or something like that for additional info about how much hit you get per point, or critical hits you get per point. I won't go more into that than that. What else is there? Haste. You try to get as much haste as possible, because you need to try and see if you could get your cast time under 1.5 seconds. I got a cast time of 1.66 seconds now, but with the improved steady shot buff, I will get under the 1.5 second cast. So, stack haste. That's a good plus, and of course get a lot of hit. I think it's 961 to get 8% hit, and that basically makes you able to hit raid bosses. So please do that. And while many people say might say that mastery is good. I like to differ because mastery is not that exciting for hunters. The essence of the Viper increases all elemental damage you deal by 11%, and you get 1 point for one mastery. Well, I mean 1% for one mastery, so it's not that important. I rather get a bit more crit. When I crit, I do a lot of damage, and especially because of my talents, as I showed you before. Let's see if I can find it again. The toxicology. So serpent sting and black arrow can crit as much as possible. But yeah, there's a lot of discussion about it, and this is more of a small guideline. You don't have to do whatever I do, basically. But yeah, my crit is almost 25%, and I'm thinking 25% is going to be my maximum. It's going to be what I'm going to aim for, and after that I can slowly start to stack mastery instead, so I can do my abilities do some more damage. But yeah, with gemming, the headpiece meta gem called Chaotic Shadow Spirit Diamond, critical strike rating, and 3% increased critical damage. And yes, that's also one of the reasons why I decided to get a crit chance, because of that. You don't use it that much if you don't have that much critical chance. And yeah, keep on stacking agility and critical strike rating. Same here. Get some hit, get some stats. Try and reforge and stuff like that. And I'm a leather worker here, so I can get 130 agility on my braces, which is really nice. Get a 130 agility enchant on your weapon. A Nomi's X-ray scope on your gun or bow or crossbow or whatever. A little bit haste rating. Yeah, you get the idea. For trinkets, Grace of Herald, which is really nice, getting more critical strike rating, and the left eye of Raj. So yeah. And for some reason I'm starting to lag now, so oh well, not anymore. And yeah, sorry for that. It seems like my fraps decided to shut down because I don't have that much hard drive space. So let's just go on with showing the rotation. Now for the pet of choice, you have to of course be aware of which party members you have in your group. Like for instance, if you got a warrior, he will provide with an agility and strength buff. So you would like to get some more crit, for instance, and then you call your wolf. But if you got a feral druid, you would like to call your pet so you can get the strength and agility buff. But for this try and for this run, I will pull out my cat called Darlick. So basically, what you will start to do now is of course the obvious. Turn on aspect of the hawk, of course. 2600 range attack power, nice. And of course, mark it with a hunter's mark. Send your pet in and start with a black arrow, explosive shot, and serpent sting. Fire 2 steady shots, boom, boom. 2 cobra shots, boom, boom. Explosive shot, cane shot, cane shot. 2 steady shots, 2 cobra shots, explosive shot, 2 steady shots, cobra shots, black arrow, explosive arrow, cane shot, and so on and so on. It's really not that difficult when you get the hold of it. Some people might call it the most difficult hunter spec, but of course it's not that difficult. And as you see, I just pop my rapid fire, so I get a lot more haste, and you can see how much my damage is increasing when you look at my damage meter. That's basically around the damage you do when you are a hunter. But of course, when you're in group, you of course will get buffs. That will of course increase your overall damage. I will continue this for at least 1 more minute, and then all that's left is just good luck, and sometime next week I'll post a marksman guide. So until then, good luck and goodbye.